You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, y'all know what time it is.
No charcoal grills are allowed.
I'm white. I got you, bro.
Illegally selling water without a permit
On my property.
Whoa! Hey!
You don't live here.
I'm uncomfortable.
Well, folks, you should never write checks your ass cannot cash. A New Jersey man is facing charges after launching a racist tirade at his black neighbor. This video, folks, went viral. Go ahead and roll the video. This video went viral over the weekend, and it is absolutely crazy. It shows Edward Cagney Matthews getting in the face of a black neighbor. Listen.
Talk to him. His name's Brandon. You know, fucking welcome. You wanna know why I'm going after him?
I don't care. I don't give a shit.
So why you here?
I don't give a shit.
So why you here?
I don't give a shit.
Then get the fuck out of here then.
I don't give a shit.
Put your hands over me one more time.
Oh, you put your hands on me. Come close to me.
I cannot.
Come close right there. I know, right there. Come
That's
close
right
to me.
there.
Come
The
close
Roland
to me.
jerseys, back up.
Come close
Back
to me.
up. Keep
Come
backing
close to
up.
me. Back up. Don't touch me.
Keep backing up.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Nigger.
Fucking bastard.
That's right.
Yeah.
My parents are both dead.
Yeah,
You're
what
right.
the fuck? My parents are both dead too.
And what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Nothing.
What you gonna do?
Nothing.
All what you do is harass all people. That's all you know how to
These
do.
motherfuckers are taking all
I
the
don't
fucking
give
money.
a shit.
Well then
I
shut the
don't
fuck
give
up.
a. You shut the fuck up. Touch him. Touch him. That's all I want you to do. Touch him.
Suit up for you.
Touch him. That's all I want you to do. Touch him.
I know better.
Oh, don't you know better? Get the fuck out of
I
here.
got you 3 times. Touch
I
it.
don't give a
Brandon,
shit.
Don't worry.
I don't give a shit about you.
That's
Get
called
the fuck
assault.
out of here.
I'm gonna wait for the cops to show up, and that's called assault.
Yes. Wait for him to come here. Wait for him.
We will.
Yes. Keep waiting.
I am.
You walking on someone's property to
This isn't their property, you dumb fuck.
You dumb fuck. This is
They
their
don't
house.
know this is common
They
ground,
have-
you dumb, ignorant
They
idiot.
have rights over
No,
this
they
property.
don't.
Yes, they do.
They don't
Yes,
have any
they do.
right.
Get the fuck out of
No
here.
right. This is called common ground.
Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's all you know how to do. Walk up, harass all people.
Nobody's harassing anybody.
Yes, you have been. You have been. You get the fuck out of here.
What? Okay. I have every right to be here like you do.
Oh, yeah.
just like he does right here. This is called common property.
I don't care.
Okay, well, if you don't care,
walk away.
Learn your law.
Walk away.
It's not Africa.
Oh, this is Africa.
It's not Solomon or wherever the fuck you were.
I was born in America.
Well, then you know what common ground. What's common ground?
I don't give a shit about you.
If you don't give a shit
about shit, go out, go back to your house, go walk your dog, go do your shit.
I'm right here.
Okay, stay there right there. Do not talk to him. Do not harass him. I'm going to stay right there.
This monkey over here, both have videotape of you putting your hands on me twice.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So what the fuck are you going to do about it?
I'm going to press charges.
Go on there.
We will.
Go on there.
You want to know what the police can do?
What do the police do?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Because they have no jurisdiction here.
Okay, they don't. Okay, that's fine.
So when they get here, I'm going to walk them the fuck off like I just did in front of Berlin's house.
Okay.
Who's Berlin?
Okay, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
The secretary of the board. Her and her daughter are the fuck out of here.
I do not care. I do not care. You will not going to harass them. You will not going to talk to them. Keep laughing.
I am.
Yo, good.
I will.
Oh, good. Keep laughing. That's all
Keep
you know
running
how
your
to do.
mouth.
That's all you know how to do.
That's it.
That's it. That's all you know how to do.
I didn't touch you. You touched me.
I don't give a shit.
That's good.
I
As
don't
long
give a
as
shit.
you know that.
That's exactly. I don't give two shits about it. You can't go press charges. I don't give two shits about it.
Hold on. You're right.
I don't
Hold
give a
on.
shit.
Why can't I press charges? Why can't I press charges? They have no jurisdiction here. Nothing. There you go. There you go. Brandon, you have no idea what you're getting involved in.
Don't talk to me.
And if you want to be involved in this,
Don't
I'm going to talk whoever I want.
Exactly. Don't talk to me.
If you want to get involved in this, you know what happened to the last one?
I know what you did. You broke that window. So what
Windows.
the fuck you did?
Dude,
I don't care.
Cookie's
No.
windows got shot out with a shotgun.
I don't care.
222s to their fucking front face.
I do not care.
In Cherry Hill,
I
their
don't
fucking
care.
daughter got smashed.
Exactly. I don't
Is that what you want? No. And you want to know where I was when all this happened?
I don't care.
At work, monkey.
I don't care where you were.
At morgue. Just like I told the Mount Laurel police, get these fucking monkey niggers out of here and you can't do shit. That's me talking shit. 3602 Gramercy Way, that's where I live. Come fucking see me.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, White, why are you back over here?
Well, somebody called me.
Someone called you, it's private property. You have no jurisdiction here whatsoever.
I do
None.
when somebody calls me.
Hold on.
I need back up.
You know what? Hold on.
Back
Go ahead.
up.
No.
Back
I'm gonna
up,
let you
right?
do your thing. Go talk to these fucking niggers. Go ahead.
Stop,
Fuck you. Go talk to the niggers. Let them know what I'm all about and what their fucking rights they have.
All right. You want to go back to your house? I'll come back to you.
No, I'll stay right here. It's common property.
Okay.
Have a nice night. I'm gonna let you guys get an education right now.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'll do my job. All right?
No problem.
You guys want to step in and talk, or?
I want him to go away. I don't know him. I want him to leave me alone.
Denise, I'm not going away until your husband stops fucking finding me and threatening me while I'm at fucking work.
Cagney, cut it out, man.
Oh,
Let me
wait.
talk to them.
Arrest me.
I'm not
you
arresting right
kidding?
now. Relax.
You fucking niggers.
Just cut it out, dude.
That's what you can see, Brandon. 3602 Gramercy Way. Come see me, you
Nobody's
fucking
coming to
monkey.
see you, Cagney. Go home. I'll talk to you in a minute.
That should not be allowed to go on.
I agree
That
with
should
you.
not be allowed to go on.
I agree with you. You want to get on the talk real quick? See what's going on here?
Circus? Did you know there was a monkey down there?
Cagney, cut it out, man. Go home.
So, y'all did hear the racist give his address out and then said, come at me. 24 hours later, they did. Here's another video, y'all, another angle of when the car was, when the cops were on the scene. And now, y'all see that, Lord, they're sitting here. Then this was another angle of when they were walking him out. And you saw that they formed a gauntlet. They formed a gauntlet, and man, he got showered with all kinds of stuff. They smacked him on the head with the Black Lives Matter flag as well. They let it, see, again, this is what happens when you talk a whole bunch of trash If y'all go back to, thank you. If you talk a whole bunch of trash, this is the car pulling off. I'm just saying it's never a good idea, Ben. It's never a good idea, Ben, to give your address, to ask folk to come whoop your ass.
I mean, he asked and he received. I think he was supremely confident in his position on this thing. Like, I really took notice of how familiar that police officer was with him and how calm he was. But this white man was really trying to he created a very hostile situation. And he finally was arrested. It's a shame that it took so many people standing up and responding to his call to show up at his address, but they did. And it just shines light on how the fact that this system will protect this white man. They gave him protection. Look at how the police escorted him out to ensure that he got out safely when he was the culprit. I just think that this just shows you how far this country goes in terms of how they view their supremacy. These folks are not supreme. This was a mess.
Well, and again, he was arrested by the cops. They've added additional charges. This is another video that's on Twitter, Teresa, that I'm playing right now. And you see, and again, he was so bold, talked a lot of trash, and gonna give an address. And they said, all right, since you gonna boldly give your address, we gonna boldly show the hell up to your apartment complex.
Absolutely. You know, this is what I talk about when it looks like unification in larger numbers. Oh, wow, he just threw something in the window. Unification on all levels. But again, kind of going to Ben's point, I also took notice about the officer. Again, I think if the colors were reversed, and maybe the neighborhoods were a little bit different, I think that officer also should be brought into question, because again, all of the nonsense that Edwards was spewing at at someone else, either it looks like a social media beef now going into an in-person confrontation. He should have been arrested on the spot. So the lack thereof of actual, the police officer doing his job, I think, again, where we talking about criminal justice reform and what does police reform looks like? Well, it looks like when the African-American guy decided to call the police, that there was no help for him. So if that black man then took out his decided to take out his Second Amendment right and shoot this officer, who knows what charges would have been happened after that. So again, thank God for video, and thank God these people came out.
And Mustafa, to that particular point, man, look, you can't tell me if a black man had rolled up to the crib and was yelling, screaming, and cussing and in the face of some white folks, the cop would have been like, Tyrone, go ahead home. I'll talk to you later, Tyrone.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. We very rarely see that happen unless you grew up together and maybe play ball together. You know, it's interesting. Let's go deeper. So the homeowners association or the rental company, whatever this situation is, knows this individual's behavior because he said he's done this type of stuff before. So, there seems to have been no accountability. So hopefully there is now. And then you also got to ask yourself, who's this individual work for? Does he represent you? Does he still have a job? Will he still have a job, depending on how much time he may or may not get for the types of actions that he just did? And then, of course, what was raised also is that the familiarity, that whatever that law enforcement agent or officer had with him also leads us to believe that, these types of behaviors are well known to him and that he did not do anything. It should have never taken, all of these young people coming out to actually have to rectify this situation. And let's just call it, we saw black folks and white folks and Latinx folks all there standing in solidarity, letting this individual know that this type of behavior is not going to be tolerated. But they shouldn't have to do that. Law enforcement should have been on the case right away, making sure that they were rectifying this situation just like they would have if it had been a black or brown man.
Look, I keep telling y'all, if all these white folks want to keep acting a damn fool, showing their ass for the camera, I will be happy to keep doing crazy ass white people. I'm just letting y'all know. But I'm telling you, if y'all keep acting a fool, y'all gonna get real famous. And if you're gonna keep running up on videos, giving out your address, folks are going to show up. This generation not playing that game, y'all. They ain't playing that game. And how y'all getting hit? Y'all getting hit because you're gonna be losing your job.
Yep. You're
gonna lose your job, and guess what? Everybody know this race, this ain't his first time. The first time he got caught. That's the difference here. This is the first time he got caught. So that's the deal. And so I appreciate all of y'all bigots showing who y'all are, because we thank y'all so very much. Folks, back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
You know, Steve got all these jobs, got all this money, got all these awards. You know, he talk about God and the Lord and his wife all the time. So he was over here talking, and his wife was there, and I knew it was his wife, so I walked up behind her and gave a kiss on the cheek. The projects in Steve came out in about 10 seconds, because he was like, I'm hearing some kissing over here. Who the hell is kissing my wife?
Well, Roland, you leaned into and you was doing this just to aggravate me, and I heard it out my ear, and I went, okay, man, I don't know who this brother is, but Essence is about to be different. And I spun, and it was the ignorant Roland Martin messing with me. But hey, man, you know how I feel about that girl. So it was quite interesting, and I had to apologize because the CEO of Essence was standing right there, and me and Roland almost turned the festival out. It would have been quite different.
Now, speaking of turn the festival out, we also are always on our pocket square game. Always.
Now, I got to give Roland credit. We always battling each other for the different looks. Pocket squares is something we kind of specialize in. We try to make it. This is topping the game right now. This I've never seen. I will be stealing this look. As soon as I find the people from out of this country that he bought this stuff from, and I get a proper email, I'll be sending to China or wherever he bought Japan or Yugoslavia, wherever they made this, and I will be looking. That is hot. I got to give it to you. That's the best pocket square I've ever seen.
Now, last piece. Steve is a big golfer. I'm a big golfer. So when we gonna have this golfing brothers thing?
See, Roland, you're trying to talk me into something that you've been doing a lot longer than I. See, you've been playing golf since college.
I took it as my PE at Texas A&M in '87.
See, right there, I picked up golf after Tiger won the Masters. And then I bought a set of clubs and played with a custom set of clubs for 5 years without a lesson. I can't tell you the bad stuff I've ingrained into this swing. I just now started going over the top. I just cut that out. So, and I'm playing good though. I'm playing good for me. Well, what's your best score?
77.
That'll never happen here.
Well, Rodney Green is working with him. He's our good friend as well. But
77. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm taking a full-page ad out in the USA Today.
So don't forget, if you want to watch the 2021 Essence Festival of Culture Live Loud virtual experience, go to essencestudios.com or essence.com. You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, folks, let's go to Tennessee, where a former police officer's guilty plea of killing a black man sends a grieving mother into a rage. In July 2018, Andrew Delk shot Daniel Hambrick in the back 3 times as he ran away. At his hearing, Delk pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter. He got the opportunity to express his condolences to the family.
I'm pleading guilty today because I recognize
Anthony,
my use of deadly force was not reasonably necessary under all the circumstances. I recognize that what happened on July 26, 2018 was tragic. Mrs. Hamburg lost her son that day, and I am responsible for her loss. Excuse me. These are facts that I will have to live with for the rest of my life. And no mother should ever have to experience the loss of a child, and not a day has gone by that I have not thought about my actions. I also recognize that my actions impacted the community and the police department. I hope this case can contribute positively to the much-needed discussion about how police officers are trained and how we, as a community, want police officers to interact with citizens. I am deeply sorry for the harm my actions caused, and I hope that Mr. Hamburg's family will obtain some comfort from my acceptance of responsibility and my guilty plea today.
Wow, folks. Following that statement, y'all, Vicky Hamburg, Daniel Hamburg's mother, strongly reacted to what he said.
Baby. Can't believe it. I can't believe this, Judge. I can't believe it. I've been going through this for 3 years.
Take your time, baby.
I can't believe it.
Yes. Take your time.
Judge,
Take your time.
I lost my mother. I lost my grandmother. I lost my father. My father had a stroke and a heart attack. I can't believe it. Because of you. Because of you. I lost my father, my son's father. Because of you. Because of you.
Yes.
He killed himself. I hate you. I hate you. I don't accept no apology because you could have did it at the beginning. I don't accept it. What if the tables turn? Judge?
That's right.
What if the tables turn? Just look at the tape. What if it's your child?
That's right.
It's not my child. What if it's your child? It'll be a different story. Go ahead. What if it's your motherfucking child? You white motherfucker. Come in, a motherfucker. You bastard. You bastard. I hate you. Roger, I hate you too. You blind motherfucker. I hate you.
Miss Hamburg.
I hate you.
Miss Hamburg.
You told me a goddamn lie.
Miss Hamburg.
And I hate you. I hate you. Damn it. Come as a motherfucker. You better watch your back in jail, motherfucker. You bastard. You bastard. You better watch your motherfucking back. You hear me? You better be scared. You better be scared, motherfucker. Cause come as a motherfucker. They gotta take you out of here now, cause I'm gonna put them over there and smack the shit out of you. Oh, yes, I am. So they better take you all out of here. They better take you out of here. Cause I've been through a lot from you. A lot. His friend killed himself because of you. I hate you. So I don't accept your motherfucking apology.
Miss Hamburg.
Okay? You cook unclean motherfucker. You come no.
Okay.
Let me go.
Well,
Let me go.
well-
You talk about my family. Y'all talk about my family. Y'all call us money.
I think that's enough.
Y'all said we eat watermelon. You racist motherfucker, y'all. No.
Okay. Don't harm anyone. Don't come up here. Just hold it.
We didn't get a chance, y'all.
Teresa, whenever we see these stories, oftentimes we have folks who want black folks to express forgiveness. Now, Hambrick also says that she was not informed of the pact that Delk made with prosecutors to plead guilty in exchange for a 3-year sentence. His plea means that he will not have to go on trial for first-degree murder this month. So they do a plea deal. He gets 3 years. Doesn't go to trial. Could have gotten a lot more. And this is where I'm with a lot of black people. Like, damn this whole, let's extend forgiveness. That woman lost her son. And you heard the judge sitting here trying to get her to calm down. No, the judge should have sat his ass there and let that woman talk as long as she needed to talk. And then, but no, they all cut and ran because they did not want to have to listen to the anguish in that black mother's voice.
Yeah. Sorry, it's the first time I'm seeing that video. I think most of the issues that, that really honestly just took place in that room, honestly, the judge, like you said, he should have sat there on the bench and listened. I think I didn't even know that the family didn't. I don't even understand how you make a plea deal without the family's acknowledgement. But that's the first issue, and then the second piece is, again, 3 years for a life, and so it's very difficult, when we talk about criminal justice reform, and this is still happening every single day. People are dying, families are dying, and then when it is time for us to receive justice, i.e. black people, we're not getting it. But the calls for action are high. I'm just trying to, I can't really get around, what the purpose of a 3-year sentence, and I think that is even something to really dissect, because it looks like this, whoever this young officer is, he really, showed the definition of white and privilege inside a police reform commission system. And so, when we see this type of mayhem and this type of tragedy happen, it's almost, again, you wonder why people don't believe in the system. You wonder why, people, when issues are happening inside of communities, they're not calling the police first, they're calling their family members first, because these issues are continuously happening. And then when it's time to receive justice, even with a black judge sitting there, it doesn't seem like it's happening. So it's just so, again, unfortunate.
We're sitting here and again looking at that, Ben, and how in the hell does a DA not tell the family about this sort of deal? But these are the kind of deals that are cut for cops.
Yeah, Roland, I'm not interested in going through the phase of getting justice for black people that includes an entire season of how low of a count of years can you get in exchange for a black life. Like, prosecutors and district attorneys need to understand we're not playing this game. If you would not give someone on the street 3 years for a human life, don't give it to a cop, because our lives are worth just as much as anyone else's. This is an insult to the family. This is a slap in their face, and that black mother had every right to be as angry as she was because her child is gone, and this guy is going to what's equivalent to a summer vacation. He's going to college. He's going away to college. And when he comes out, he's got the rest of his life ahead of him, but this young black man does not. So this black mother had every right to say everything that she said, and she could have said more, and the judge got in the way. He did not expect. The judge was looking for the sensibilities that we've seen from so many black families, and however they choose to process it, it's their prerogative. But they're so used to us being forgiving these cops and ushering that over to them. No, this mother said everything that we've been feeling as a black community, and I'm so sorry that it had to come at the expense of her child.
Mustafa.
I mean, she lost her everything. I mean, a mother who brings a child into the world and has to watch that child leave because of a decision that a police officer made, it is a heavy bearing, something to carry. And this case you know, this life should have never been taken if you really understand this case. You know, you had a police officer that was following a car. Now, he worked on a task force that was supposed to be looking for stolen cars by youth. He was following the car, ran the plates on the car. The car didn't have anything attached to it. Then he ended up, you know, following a little while longer, lost it, and then went into an area and saw another car that he knew was not that car, but decided to get out. And then chased this young man in this moment where lots of folks are afraid of the police, and then shot him multiple times. So of course the mother is going to be upset. So we have a lot of folks who bore responsibility in this moment. The police officer does, the district attorney does, to make such an egregious commitment to this police officer to give him such a small amount of time. Folks really understand what this is. This is 1,095 days is all that police officer will serve for murdering this young man. 1,095 days, that's how much this young man's life was worth. And that's why we say that the system is broken. But maybe we shouldn't even say that the system is broken, because the system was never created for fairness for us. So we have all these different dynamics that we have to go through in trying to figure out how do we get a system that actually works for Black and brown people. And I'll be quite honest, I'm not wise enough to know what the answer to that question is in this moment.
It is certainly troubling, and this is why when people talk about Black Lives Matter, this is why when people talk about what has to happen when it comes to getting justice in this country, those things are important, and so that's how it goes. All right, so we'll. It is so unfortunate, but that mother's pain is real.
Back to that Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
You know, Steve got all these jobs, got all this money, got all these awards. You know, he talk about God and the Lord and his wife all the time. So he was over here talking, and his wife was there, and I knew it was his wife, so I walked up behind her and gave a kiss on the cheek. The projects in Steve came out in about 10 seconds, because he was like, I'm hearing some kissing over here. Who the hell is kissing my wife?
Well, Roland, you leaned into it and you was doing it just to aggravate me, and I heard it out my ear, and I went, okay, man, I don't know who this brother is, but Essence is about to be different. And I spun, and it was the ignorant Roland Mark messing with me. But hey, man, you know how I feel about that girl. So it was quite interesting, and I had to apologize because the CEO of Essence was standing right there, and me and Roland almost turned the festival out. It would have been quite different.
Now, speaking of turn the festival, we also are always on our pocket square game. Always.
Now, I got to give Roland credit. We always battling each other for the different looks. Pocket squares are something we kind of specialize in. We try to make it. This is topping the game right now. This I've never seen. I will be stealing this look. As soon as I find the people from out of this country that he bought this stuff from, and I get a proper email, I'll be sending to China or wherever he bought Japan or Yugoslavia, wherever they made this, and I will be looking. That is hot. I got to give it to you. That's the best pocket square I've ever seen.
Now, last piece. Steve is a big golfer. I'm a big golfer. So when we gonna have this golfing brothers thing?
See, Roland, you're trying to talk me into something that you've been doing a lot longer than I. See, you've been playing golf since college.
I took it as my PE at Texas A&M in '87.
See, right there, I picked up golf after Tiger won the Masters. And then I bought a set of clubs and played with a custom set of clubs for 5 years without a lesson. I can't tell you the bad stuff I've ingrained into this swing. I just now started going over the top. I just cut that out. Okay. So, and I'm playing good though. I'm playing good for me. Well, what's your best score?
77.
That'll never happen here.
Well, Rodney Green is working with him. He's our good friend as well. But
1977. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm taking a full-page ad out in the USA Today.
So don't forget, if you want to watch the 2021 Essence Festival of Culture Live Loud virtual experience, go to essencestudios.com or essence.com. You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, folks, I love this story. In Tennessee, the Knoxville Police Department has launched an internal investigation into an off-duty officer knocked unconscious for allegedly making racist remarks. You got your ass knocked out. While attending a wedding reception, Officer Tanner Holt reportedly told a black man there he didn't know they let black people in the reception hall. Witnesses say Holt continued to badger the brother with racist comments. After repeated pleas with Holt to stop, the black man knocked his punk ass out, unconscious. Holt was transported to UT Medical Center for treatment. No charges have been filed in the incident, and the Knoxville Police Department has not stated if or when Holt will return to duty. See? Yeah. Look. We trying to chill, Brittany.
Listen, Roland, I bet you he won't say no foolishness like that again. I bet you he won't try that again. He got what was coming to him.
I'm just, hey, I keep warning these white people, Michael. Y'all need to stop rolling. I'm telling. What if I always say? Y'all gonna roll up on the wrong brother at the wrong time and gonna get your ass knocked out.
Right. Well, you know, brother, you know, he was blue before this. Now he's black and blue. They've been listening to Donald Trump too much. They've been sitting up here drinking the Kool-Aid, and they think they can just say whatever. And yeah, you were campaigning for an ass whooping, and you just got elected. That's what happened.
Simple as that, Candace. Look, we see all these videos of people keep accosting people. I'm telling you, all of these people, they are lucky black people have lots of patience.
Yes, listen, look, I'm sure you talked about Mount Laurel, right? I'm in New Jersey, Mount Laurel, New Jersey. That man was so patient at the door, but this happened totally different. He's going to have some harassment and intimidation charges against him. It is going to be some charges on his side too, but let's make sure those harassment and intimidation charges get stuck on that officer first. Oh, same. Yeah,
the dude in New Jersey. Oh yeah, he learned a real valuable lesson. Real valuable. Now, so I'm like, all right, dog, you just keep talking that trash. And then he was just so dumb. He gave his address out.
Yes. And then said
Right.
he was drinking. Blamed it on drinking when he already had a history of harassing people already that wasn't related to drinking. None of it made sense.
Hey, you can sit and try to blame that on drinking all you want to. All I know is, look, he got exactly what was coming to him. Folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Racial injustice is a scourge on this nation, and the black community has felt it for generations. We have an obligation to do something about it. Whether it's canceling student debt, increasing the minimum wage, or investing in black-owned businesses, the black community deserves so much better. I'm Nina Turner, and I'm running for Congress to do something about it.
Y'all know what time it is.
No charcoal grills are allowed.
I'm white. I got you, huh?
Illegally selling water without a permit
on my property.
Whoa! Hey!
You don't live here.
I'm uncomfortable.
All right, folks, this crazy-ass white lady had the nerve to threaten some black kids at a playground by using racial slurs and literally chasing them around with a knife.
Come with me. I got hands, nigga. Come with me. Come with me. I got hands. That's why you running, nigger. Oh! You hurt me. Oh! Put the fucking knife down. Put the fucking knife down. Y'all want to fucking fuck with my kid? fucking niggers, but you got a whole fucking weapon. You sound fucking dumb as fuck. You know what? Yeah. You little. Guys, get away from me. What's up? What's up? Get your bitch ass in the car. What?
She called me an N-word though.
Because you're being one. A nigger is an ignorant person. Doesn't mean you're black.
But you can't say it. You can't say it.
I can say whatever I want. It's freedom of speech.
Has she saying the N-word? She called me a nigger. She called me a nigger.
You beat up 3 of my kids.
2 of your kids. Who the 3?
Landon, Kai, and McKenna.
No, they almost did.
That girl? I don't hate girls. I hate niggas.
No, they almost did.
It doesn't matter.
Go to jail, they stopped.
My kids weren't fucking with you.
He called me the B-word 4 times.
He did.
deserved it. He kept doing mean stuff.
Exactly, he deserved it. And then that's
Okay, I apologize. You need to watch your fucking mouth.
Like I said.
You sitting there telling me that they're starting shit.
They is. They all started this.
No, see, you got me. Get the fuck in the car.
Well, now that racist has gone viral, and there's a hashtag called Arrest Tara Roland. Check this out.
Last week, I told y'all about a woman named Tara Roland terrorizing children by chasing them with a knife, yelling racial slurs on school property. That's all I knew then. That's changed. Tara couldn't catch these kids. She needed backup. She calls 911. Guess it's a crime to be a black child in Fort Wayne because they took Tara's side of the story and they took one of those children and put them in the back of the cruise. Not that that was good enough for them. They decided to threaten him with detention center and they didn't record any of it. Fort Wayne Police Department has been telling the advocacy group, the Changemakers, that they've had someone on the case for a while now. That's not true at all. Matter of fact, nobody went on the case until the day after I posted my video. The parents have come forward, the tape has been seen, the media is silent, the school system won't make a statement, and the police aren't doing shit about it. I need y'all to make some noise. The image above me is everything that you can do to make some noise and calling for the arrest immediately of Tara Roland. It feels like a damn good day to get some justice. Let's make some noise.
Well, after that video went viral, the social media user who posted it released this follow-up video. All right, that was one there. So basically what they're trying to do is that they really want people, they really pressure the Fort Wayne, Indiana folks to get involved. They released a call of action for the arrest of Tara. Joining us right now is Positive AF, Alicia Roush, and Delana Sanders, co-founders of Changemakers Fort Wayne. How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
All right, glad to have all of you here. So, all right, so what has happened? What has happened? What has been the response? Is the city of Fort Wayne responding?
Fort Wayne is barely responding. Our friend down there, Positive AF, actually helped us engage the audience in Fort Wayne, Indiana. You know, Fort Wayne has been known as a city to be sleep and very complacent. And we knew that when we found out about this case. And so we knew that we would have to gather the army and the community outside of the city. And that's exactly what we did. We went to several influencers, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, just to see who's like-minded and who is actually brave enough to tackle this issue and speak about this issue. And Positive AF answered the call.
So when you put this video out calling for the call to action, you made it perfectly clear. You said, "Hey, let's get this thing going." Have folks been blowing your phone up? How people have been stepping in?
Yeah, absolutely. People have been blowing it up. I think when we started the hashtag, we were at 2 uses of the hashtag of Arrest Tara Roland. And now I think we're over 1.2, 1.3 million. So when I said in the video, make some noise, people are definitely making the noise. I've seen Fort Wayne be tagged on Twitter. I've seen it reposted on Facebook, Instagram. We're definitely making noise. Matter of fact, on one of our call to action promos, there was a phone number to call the lead detective on this case, and people blew up his phone number so much he actually had it disconnected. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but definitely shows where Fort Wayne stands as far as Tara Roland is concerned.
Well, we have a replacement phone number for everyone. And we put that out as well. So that one is shut off, but we have a new one. We're going to call the chief of police.
So the fact that she terrorized these folks and nothing has been done so far is crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but it's not.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the thing is, from the protests in the summer, last summer in this city, we're not surprised by the way that the police has responded. The mayor here actually put together a commission that was supposed to address the relationship between the Fort Wayne Police Department and the community, which was very volatile. It was a dangerous relationship just because there was no trust, and there was also a lot of implicit bias. There's a racist culture on that department, and we're seeing that actually play out in this case because they are dragging their feet. They're saying that they need more and more and more, and we actually go out and go fishing for more, bring it back to them, and then they say they need something else. The prosecutor hasn't even touched the prosecutor's desk. I talked to the chief of police office today, and they said, well, we're going to need you all to give us more time. And we told them that we've given you guys 2 months already. She should have been arrested as soon as they found out about this, which was May 29th. May 29th, and they have not done anything, and still, as of this morning, don't plan to do anything.
What else do y'all want the public to do? Are you planning any public protest, anything along those lines?
Well, yeah, we're definitely going to move forward with public protests. You know, if we don't see the results that we want, you know, we want her arrested. She needs to be charged with criminal recklessness, intent to harm a minor. You know, we can't let something like this go in our community. We just had a few months back, we had 3 black boys actually, 19, 18-year-old boys shot, and 2 of them were killed by a white man. They were literally hunted down in this city. And then we have this happen. So it seems like there's a pattern, and they're getting comfortable with doing these things. And so we need to stand up and make sure that she's held accountable for her actions. It's not okay for an adult to chase a child in a public park or on school property with a knife. It doesn't matter what happened before. It doesn't matter what happened after. It's illegal. It's a felony.
If it had been Daylon Saunders or Alicia Rauch that had that knife in their hands, chasing little white kids, we would have been arrested. Matter of fact, if we were chasing little black kids, we would have been arrested as well. And so the system is actually protecting Tara Rowling, and she knew that she was going to be protected, which is why she was so comfortable doing that to black kids while calling them the N-word. So moving forward, they have a limited amount of time to address this situation. We're not going to give them that date, Roland. We're not going to give them that date, but they have a limited amount of time, which we told them today. But we want to rally the troops. Everybody in Fort Wayne, Indiana, everyone in the surrounding cities in Fort Wayne, Indiana, we want you all to be ready. Just like that video that you guys saw going around. I don't remember what city that was, Roland, but you just talked about it, where the city came out and went to that man's address. That's the energy that we need in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So we're putting everybody on notice that we want you all to be ready when we put out that call to go to the police station, or if we got to go to the chief's house, we're going to protest there. So we want you all to continue in the meantime. Look at the graphic. We want you guys to call the chief of police office. It's there. We want you guys to email and call the prosecutor's office. Keep on with the action items. They have a very limited time, guys. And then we're going to have to turn up. We will.
Positive AF, your final comment.
Yeah, I just want to say actually 2 things. One thing about the segment you had before about Ziggy. That's nothing new. As far as black creators on TikTok, they are definitely suppressed. And as far as Ziggy personally, I don't know him, but I couldn't even follow him. Once he posted his videos, you couldn't duet, you couldn't stitch, you couldn't comment half the time, and you couldn't follow him as well. And as far as Tara Rowling is concerned, TikTok currently has me on a ban because I posted a video about a sexual offender that was on their app that's been banned several times. As soon as that ban comes up, if nothing's been done with Tara Rolling, we're going in again. We're just going to keep making noise until Fort Wayne does anything. Because as far as I can see it, they're not doing anything at all to solve this problem.
What you can also do is you can also just send us a video, because we're on TikTok, Roland Martin Unfiltered. So hell, we can post it.
Absolutely. I'll get something and I'll send it right.
That's how we do it. All right, folks, I appreciate it. Let us know how this thing ends up.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
All right, great work. Thanks a lot. Folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially at Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Black employees at Walmart are making it perfectly clear they're not happy with the company. Bloomberg reported today an internal survey where many high-ranking black employees would not recommend working for the world's largest company, while the country's largest employer has been vocal about recruiting a diverse workforce and spending millions of dollars toward advancing racial equity. Its black employees say they face barriers when trying to advance their careers, such as favoritism and internal politics. Black employees make up nearly 21% of Walmart's workforce, but only 12% of the black employees are on the managerial level and just 8% at the officer level. Candace, I'll start with you. Last year, I actually spoke at Walmart, at their Bentonville headquarters for their MLK program. CEO Doug McMillan was there. I got a chance to go to lunch after that with a number of black executives. And the questions I raised to them then were, what are the numbers? And really, when they talked about sort of the top tier positions, you never really had more than two. And we had a conversation about the kind of pressure that needed to be applied and making it perfectly clear, the opportunity that was there. Then, of course, you had the George Floyd death in May. Walmart announced that they were going to spend $100 million over 5 years on issue dealing with race equity. But the thing that I keep saying to these companies, whether it's Walmart, whether it's ESPN, whether it's Disney, whether it's, we can on and on and on, that it's very easy to provide aid and scholarship to folk you don't know. But if you cannot deal with your own house, that's really irrelevant. It's sort of like the people who say, I want to help black kids learn, but you won't help your nieces and nephews who can't read.
Right.
If you don't take care of home, you ain't got credibility going outside of home.
Exactly. So the fact that Walmart is talking about how they sponsored the Essence Festival, sure, that sounds nice on paper, like you said, but we know, first of all, I'm surprised that there were two people in various positions when you talk to these big managers and giants at Walmart. Normally there's O&O, one and only. There's a one and only person, right? And I'm sure that you've been that person along your career too. I know I have, and probably everybody on this panel. So the bottom line is, like you said, what is happening behind closed doors? when we have managers that are hanging out with each other, during cocktail hour and babysitting each other's kids, and they're able to carpool at work. A lot happens outside of the office space and inside that apparently Walmart needs to look at. Because listen, the employees said, pay not so bad, benefits not so bad, but no. I wouldn't work here. That wasn't even a marker or an indication in terms of I could stay here. The pay is good enough where I can stay here. They said it was okay, but I can't stay here and I can't recommend friends or family to be here. That is a big deal. They need to have an internal assessment as to what's going on, to why these 56, I believe, higher ups said what they did so that they can correct it, because it's not going to be corrected with, as you said, just giving scholarships or money to Essence.
The thing here, Brittany, in the moment that we're in, and this is what I keep saying to black folks who are in these spaces. You ain't getting shit today. So why are you going to be so quiet tomorrow? I mean, at some point, people have to understand that unless you call folks out, and look, and I get it, there are people who are afraid to lose their jobs. There are people who have kids in private school. They say, well, Roland, everybody can't be, and trust me, I've heard it all my whole career, Roland, everybody can't be as radical as you. You know, we all can't do that. And I'm like, guess what? And y'all just gonna sit your ass and sit and be quiet and complain. And then what I can't stand are those parking lot militants. The ones who talk a lot of trash in the parking lot as you're walking to the car leaving home. But then when you go back into the building the next day and it's time to speak up and you do so and you turn around and they sitting here like, and you're going like, yeah. At the end of the day, these companies are not going to change unless we have black people inside of them who are forcing the change.
Absolutely, Roland. I wish that I could say I'm surprised with Walmart, and I think that anybody who knows anything about the retail giant knows that they're famous for all types of, anti-union policies, the use of foreign labor, child welfare issues. They're notorious for wage theft. So, one, I'm not surprised. I think it's a reflection of what's going on even at the bottom, right? Our hourly workers are struggling and constantly talking about the issues that they're running into at Walmart. So I'm also not surprised that we see that when it comes to the supervisors and black people in general. I mean, the very institution of Walmart is racist. Its business model is essentially racist, no matter how much, philanthropy they claim to do. So I'm not surprised. And it's imperative that, I hope everyone gets together and organizes against the chain, right? Because you're right. That's the only way that anything is going to change.
And the thing here is, Michael, this ain't just Walmart. I mean, we could just sit here and just do a roll call of company after company after company after company after company where they have these issues. And look, Doug McMillan was a nice guy when I met him, was very receptive to what I had to say. And this is actually what I said. In fact, Walmart was supposed to send me a copy of my speech. So let me tell my office, they never did. So let me tell my office where my video. But this is what I said and I spoke to all the Walmart employees worldwide. They were all by feed. This is what I said to them. Walmart, you by yourself can change America. First of all, do people realize that there are several daily flights direct from New York to Bentonville, Arkansas? Y'all, I ain't say, hell, you ain't got a lot of direct flights to Little Rock. But the reason there are direct flights to Bentonville is because of Walmart. And Tyson Foods is down the street. So the reality is Walmart shifts industries. Companies like Amazon shifts industries.
That's right.
Procter & Gamble shifts industries. Apple shifts industries. And so what I said to Walmart, with the CEO, Doug McMillan, sitting right there, is that if you make a decision that this is what we're going to do when it comes to diversity. This is what we're going to do when it comes to advertising with black media. This is what we're going to do when it comes to contracts with black-owned companies. You can alter the entire industry if you then say, and if any of y'all doing business with us can't match us, you can't do business with us. That is how you change the game.
Yeah, we have to renegotiate our relationship with corporate America, brother. I'm not surprised with Walmart, and I was just about to say we have to do this with corporations across the spectrum that we spend dollars with. Now, this is connected to the protests of summer 2020, the George Floyd Black Lives Matter protests, when all these corporations came out and they said, we're going to pledge this amount of money, that amount of money, things like this. How did you change internally? Okay, and how are you treating African-American employees? But the other question I would ask Walmart and all these other corporations, why are you so silent now on these voter suppression bills as they're passing? It's like about over 20 have passed state legislatures.
No. So see, this is like, here's my whole deal. Follow me here.
Okay.
That's a separate issue. See, let me tell you why I'm separating them. Okay. The reason I'm separating them is because that gives the company an out. I want to deal with the money.
Yeah, I agree.
See, because here's the deal. I think a lot of them, they want us to have that conversation. See, let me unpack that. And let me unpack that. And I want everybody who's listening, people who are watching it and listening to the podcast, to understand this. America wants us talking about criminal justice reform, voting rights, mass incarceration. They actually are fine with that. Not when we talk about the money. Because see, what we're talking about over here, Michael, with these senior executives, we're now talking company shares. We're now talking actual, the ability to create wealth. We're now talking about high 6, 7, and 8-figure salaries. Now we're talking about not just 1 or 2, I'm talking 5, 10, 15, 20 folks up and down the chain, folks on the officer level, director level, senior executive level, junior executive level, and all throughout. Because see, now again, we should, Black Voters Matter, the groups should be challenging them on that. But we also got to be real clear when we're dealing with the money. Because if we let them off the hook with the money, and only focus on those things, then we're in the same situation. Everything King was doing really from after 63 was about the money. What happened was black people, actually, we were so heavily tilted to politics that we didn't focus on the money. This complaint here about from the black employees, this is not a survey of all black employees. This survey that Bloomberg got their hand on was 56 senior black executives. That's a money conversation.
I agree. As somebody that graduated from Wayne State University's business school, I totally agree. It's about the money as well. And when we had that conversation about the money, in addition to that, conversation about contracts that these corporations, including Walmart, have. Contracts for janitorial services, contracts for advertising, all that, because that deals with African-American owned businesses. Contracts for advertising on Roland Martin Unfiltered, that deals with African-American owned businesses that are allowed to grow, okay, because they have contracts with these corporations as well. That's another conversation dealing with the money as well. So I totally agree with you. We have to have multiple conversations.
Yeah, so I think now according to Walmart, this was a preliminary deal. There were several affinity groups they have there. They have ongoing conversations, but the thing here, it was very interesting because You know, when we had that lunch, a lot of them black employees were like, damn, this bro is like really radical. And I'm like, hello? See, hello?
I've been there.
I mean, again, my whole deal is when these companies invite me to speak, I don't change my message.
Right.
I don't change my tone. I'm real clear. If you gonna invite me, you gonna get me. And I'm gonna say, and what I also do is I challenge black senior executives to say, hell, y'all can't be quiet. Because if y'all quiet, we know that brother in the mailroom and that sister on the dock, we know she gonna be quiet.
That's right.
And what also, and see, right now, Candace, where I am on this thing is, you got black people sitting on boards of directors. They has got to say something. Here we are out here demanding these companies spend more with black-owned media. I need the black people sitting on the board at Pepsi to say something. I need the black people sitting on the board at McDonald's, sitting on the board at Apple, the black folks sitting on the board at Square. We could go on and on saying something. You ain't there just so you can get some stock options and get some cash. You supposed to be there representing more than just you.
You can't not say something now. Monday is not going to be the same. Monday shouldn't be the same in terms of now that this report is out, what is the next step? The power is in the hands of those 56 men and women who are in those positions, and let it trickle down. Like you said, let them see what you're doing at the top. They're at the top of the top, not the top where most of the white men are. But for those who are at the top of their game internally there at Walmart, they have to do something, and it will trickle down. They've got all the power. We're talking about it here tonight. They've got the power tonight, so Monday's got to look different. They have to hold Walmart accountable.
And Brittany, I just want y'all to go to my computer. I just want to show y'all. This is their website. This is the executive management team of Walmart. Doug McMillan, President, CEO. Dan Bartlett, Executive Vice President. And you go down here and you see on this team, I mean, in terms of you get down to Kelvin Buncombe, Executive Vice President, Neighborhood Markets, Walmart. Let's see, I'm looking for somebody else black. Ben Hassan is the Senior Vice President and Global Chief Culture, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer. But again, what I'm looking for, let me tell you what I look for, y'all. When I talk about corporate America, I look for people who have P&L responsibility. I met Ben, great guy, but Ben don't have P&L responsibility. Other positions do. You go down here, you keep going, Dr. Cheryl Pigas, Executive Vice President, Health and Wellness. Nice position, that's not a P&L position. Follow me here. Dakona Smith, Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, Walmart U.S. That's a P&L position. Latrice Watkins, Executive Vice President, Consumables, Walmart U.S. And so this is so what you have on the executive management at Walmart. You got 2 black women. You've got 3 black men out of 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45, 48. That's what you have. And then you have their board of directors. I know Carla Harris. She's vice chair of wealth management at Morgan Stanley. I know her well. But this is where, and look, Marisa Mayer used to be over at Yahoo. Randall Stevenson was over at AT&T. But the bottom line is Cesar Conde, chairman of NBC Universal, on the board. I'm sorry. Sarah Fryer, CEO of Nextdoor. In fact, we're launching an initiative with Nextdoor beginning on next Tuesday. This is where we need corporate board officers to be challenging and demanding, Brittany, change, not slowly, far more quicker. So I really hope, Brittany, that Walmart senior executives really listen to what these black senior employees do. And in fact, one of the black employees said, is the pay great? Yes. The benefits great, but they actually said they would not recommend any other black executive come to Walmart. That's a damning statement for a company for a senior black executive to say, I ain't recommending nobody come here?
That's serious. That's a serious problem, right? And I think it's very telling to see what Walmart decides to do with that information. We know Walmart is worth $386 billion, not only billion, right? The company as a whole has more money than any of us would know what to do with, right? All of their top executives are paid well. There's no reason why Black folks should not be happy there. I mean, that's scary, Roland. So I do hope, like you said, that both the board of directors, as well as those high-end Black executives, work to change, continue to work, because I'm sure they've done something, I'm hoping, but continue to change the culture there. Because the reality is Walmart is a large employer of Black people, of people of color, of working class people, right? We are the people that are making their business run, and they're worth, again, $386 billion. Change can be made, and change can be made right now. There's nothing stopping these people from making those necessary changes.
And again, this is a Bloomberg report that came out. And let me say it again, this is not exclusive to Walmart. It is company after company.
That's right.
And my challenge, and again, the National Association of Black Journalists, we sent a letter requesting a meeting with Disney executives and at ESPN over the whole Maria Taylor issue and some other issues. And I've been saying the same thing. You got culture issues. And when you have culture issues, you got to address your culture issues. And we're seeing this in company after company. And so hopefully we see this happen. Folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Racial injustice is a scourge on this nation, and the Black community has felt it for generations. We have an obligation to do something about it. Whether it's canceling student debt, increasing the minimum wage, or investing in Black-owned businesses, the Black community deserves so much better. I'm Nina Turner, and I'm running for Congress to do something about it.
You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. All right, folks, we talk about, of course, our Where's Our Money segment. Let's roll that. We're supposed to play that. We've been frozen out.
Facing an extinction level event.
We don't fight this fight right now. You're not going to have Black-owned businesses. We've been telling y'all about how we as African Americans are consistently screwed when it comes to the advertising industry. Well, that includes TikTok. Now, you also know that right now, you got Black TikTokers are actually boycotting the app because they say they aren't being sufficiently paid for the dances that they create where other people are making lots of money. Well, one TikToker named Ziggy Tyler literally did a demonstration showing you how Black people are getting screwed on TikTok economically. He dropped 2 videos. Watch this.
I'm not going to be overly dramatic. I'm going to cut to the chase because I am not feeling well today. I said I was going to give you more about what was going on yesterday. And I'm very emotional because I lost a friend last night. So here's why I'm frustrated. If I go into the creator marketplace and I put supporting white supremacy and I hit accept, it's okay. And it lets me have my asking rate at $500. White supremacy. But God forbid, let me put Black Lives Matter on there. Watch, it says it's a threat. Boom, inappropriate content. Can't say that. I cannot say Black people. This is my screen recording. And this is why I'm pissed the fuck off. We're tired. We're tired. Okay, Black success, boom, inappropriate content. Anything Black related is inappropriate content. But Black can't say it. Let's take that out of the equation. Supporting white success. The same adjectives I was using to describe us on this app, it's allowed. It's allowed. White voices, accepted, $500. Pro-white, accepted, $500. But let me say pro-Black, a threat. And y'all thought I was gonna stop? Here's the next part. Yeah, I'm fed up. I'm tired. I am a Neo. You can see it. Boom. Accepted. Fine. No issue. Let me delete it. I can say I'm not even going to say the word out loud because it irks me. Anti, boom, right here. You see it. Accepted. God forbid I type this in. Let me get rid of that. Let me say, word of the day, I'm a black man. What you think it's going to say? Threat. I'm done.
We tried to get Ziggy Tyler on the show, was unable to do so. But that shows you right there, Bernardo, what's going on here. You're a lawyer. I think TikTok might need to be sued. I mean, he literally shows you in real time how the app works. If you put this in, what immediately comes up. That's crazy.
So TikTok, what you got to say? What's the response? Are you getting that ready for us? Maybe tomorrow? Because obviously this is going viral, and especially now that it's on your show, Roland. Thank you for bringing that up to us and bringing that out to our community for us to know, because I have been getting texts about it as well as notifications about it, but I didn't exactly see the video till now. So good for Ziggy. Good for Ziggy for putting himself out there and actually showing out TikTok for what it is. However, Roland, I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be kind of hard to sue TikTok. Why? Because TikTok is a private organization. It's not it's not a public organization. So unfortunately, it's much easier when you're dealing with a public organization that is getting some kind of funding or operating in some kind of way from the federal government or the state government, because the United States Constitution applies, right? So when you're talking about a private organization, though, that's receiving their own funding or bringing up their own funding, it is very difficult to sue a private organization for having parameters such as this.
But here's the deal, though. But here's the deal. We've seen racial discrimination lawsuits against other, even publicly traded companies or even private companies. So what he's demonstrating is that even just the use of the word black and showing that if you put white supremacy in, you can get paid, but Black Lives Matter, objectionable content.
What I'm curious to do, and now I'm thinking now a lot, is that what if you can do a lawsuit in terms of TikTok supporting language that can lead to a riot, lead to an uprising? Because when you're talking about using the word of white supremacy, when you're talking about speaking about anti-Semitism, can we consider that and argue that TikTok is technically supporting some kind of riot? So does the First Amendment apply to it? Can we tie that, for example, similar to the riot and the overtake and the siege that took place at Washington, D.C. earlier this year? So now I'm like, wait, maybe we have something. We're going to have to be creative about it. Do you think it's going to move in any way quickly? No. What makes companies change quickly is the rise in social media, how we start boycotting it. Unfortunately, the best penalty in a lot of these cases is not even taking it to court, but rather blasting these companies on social media and getting a rise out of the entire community and have them face the backlash.
Kelly.
So just to piggyback off her point as to whether there can be a lawsuit, I mean, and you know this being a lawyer, and I'm technically a lawyer, but I don't practice. Anything can be a lawsuit, right? But the fact of the matter is the threshold for hate speech or to prove that something was incited by way of speech, that threshold is pretty high. It's damn near strict scrutiny. So I don't know how viable that case would be if brought to court just by way of proof that TikTok is allowing the word white instead of black. It would have to be very blatant that they helped incite the riot, right? But to your point about TikTok being racist, well, frankly, all of these social media apps and platforms have some level of racism to it. Like on Facebook, I know that they are going back years to find content from creators that are, you know, on the rise, who are either Black or brown or other people of color, going back years into their profiles just to pull out a word that has absolutely no context to it, but because all of a sudden that word is flagged, now they are not just flagged, but some of the people that I've seen go through this, they go to Facebook jail for 30 days or for 3 months because of something that happened or was commented on 3 years ago. But you see my white counterparts can say whatever they want, and the algorithm, you know, passes them by, similar to what you just saw on the TikTok. I've personally gone through things on Instagram when I was trying to post things last year regarding the election and, you know, bringing awareness to it. Instagram wasn't having it, but I was seeing a lot of conservative stuff getting you know, slip through the cracks. So it's not just a TikTok issue. It is a social media platform issue. But TikTokers are very vocal, a lot more vocal about it. I don't know if anybody heard about the black content creator faux boycott a couple weeks ago with Meg Thee Stallion song, and how they just refused to create any content to that song because white people were stealing it. It's because the algorithms are pushing white people to the front on content that Black people created. So you'll see the white people's content first, even though the Black creator made it first, and they go viral and they get the money from advertisers and the like, and Black people, their IP is just gone. So it's a larger issue than TikTok, for sure.
Faraji.
Real quick, Mutule Nkande, she's the CEO of AI for the People. You can find her on Twitter. But essentially, a nonprofit communications agency that's fighting for racial justice in tech. And one of the things that she said about TikTok is that they had issues last year with Black content creators and how Black content creators were expressing themselves. We got to know and recognize, just like Kelly said, that there are power in numbers. There are thousands of Black content creators on TikTok. You don't need to have thousands of people to make a change. You could just get a couple of voices. The issue becomes whether we want to move away from that platform to create new platforms. Now, I know that there's some folks that out there that says, look, yeah, let's do that, let's do that. But the issue is the general public. How much are we willing to get off of the mainstream and to create some alternative spaces that Black folks will be seen as equitable and that we can get our voices out there? Same way we here on RMU. You know what I mean? Instead of you just saying, oh, I just listen to CNN and everything, subscribe and make sure that you put your investment into spaces like Roland Martin. There has to be that same level of conversation. And I think that we need to bring those folks from AI for the People and other folks who are already involved in tech equity, that we bring them to the table and have those conversations. Say, y'all tell us, what do we need to do? Because at this point, folks are just looking at TikTok for the latest dance trend and changing clothes craze. At this point, we need to make some changes.
Well, and that's why one of the things that I have been saying to people is to download this app right here, Fanbase. We had Isaac Hayes III on the show. This is a Black-owned, Black-created social media app that actually allows for you to get paid, meaning the people who watch your videos, they can pay you directly. And so, folks, if you go to Fanbase, I'm actually on Fanbase. Support Fanbase as well. And so, you know, we should blow this up. We make, let me be real clear, we make, go ahead and leave it up. We make a lot of other people rich. We make other people billionaires. We make other folks mega successful. Clubhouse, black folks made that thing hot. Within 9 months, they had a $4 billion valuation on it. There's no reason fan base right now doesn't have 1 million, 2 million, 5 million users. That's what should be happening. And so every one of us should be doing that. And so I even posted, I said, hey, if you're a black TikToker, you know what? Don't put your damn videos on TikTok. Put your videos on Fanbase and tell all of your followers to come to Fanbase as well. Black owned, black controlled. I'm saying, so folks, be sure to download it. All right, back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have that you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Yesterday, President Biden met with civil rights groups. And, of course, while he was doing that, Vice President Kamala Harris was visiting Howard University talking about how voting suppression is happening all across this country. The Democrats also announced they're going to spend $25 million to combat Republicans on voting requirements. That seemed to upset Georgia Governor Brian Kemp. During an interview on Fox News, Kemp defended the state's, voter suppression laws by responding directly to Vice President Kamala Harris. Here's this weasel.
Hey, we got to fight like hell. That's what I've been telling people. We have the truth on our side. Now the vice president's lying like the president has been about Georgia's law. We actually add the amount of days that people can vote early on the weekends in the state of Georgia. We've got many more opportunities for people to vote early than President Biden's own state of Delaware and a lot of other states where the Democrats are in control. They're just not being truthful to people. And listen, this is just part of their playbook. Their legislation failed at Congress to have a federal takeover of elections, which is unconstitutional. Now they have the Department of Justice when we have, violent crime, killings in major cities all over the country, a crisis at the border. And the fight they're picking is suing us over our Elections Integrity Act. And they realize now after the Arizona ruling, that's not going to work. So now they're moving to the Democratic Party at the national level, trying to spend $25 million to cancel us. But my message is, look, we're going to stand up and fight. We have the truth on our side, but you need to be aware. They're going to try to cancel you. They're going to try to boycott your business, move your ball game, just like they did the All-Star game in Georgia. They're going to come after your way of life. This isn't a fight just in Georgia. This is a nationwide fight. It is one worth fighting, and that is what I'm going to continue to do.
And that was a whole bunch of lying right there by Brian Kemp. We all know that's a trash bill. He knows it. We know it. And so it's simple as that. Joining me now is Melanie Campbell, President and CEO, National Coalition on Black Civic Participation. Dr. Janetta Cole, National Chair of the National Council of Negro Women. Both of them were at the meeting yesterday with President Biden. That meeting went a little longer than expected. Dr. Cole, how committed is this president to going around the country speaking on the issue of voter suppression and voting laws?
My pleasure to respond to you, Professor Brother Roland Martin. Indeed, yesterday, the legacy civil rights organizations were convened by the president and the vice president of our country. We expected to be in the Roosevelt room for 1 hour. It was easily 1 hour and 30, maybe 40 minutes. What we were able to communicate to our top political leaders is that in the Black communities where we are invested large, where we work, where we live, enough is enough. Voter suppression, which is being run in cynical, but unfortunately effective ways by the Republican Party, and this is not a partisan issue. This is the fact. This sounds like, feels like, smells like the kind of voter suppression that I experienced growing up in the Jim Crow South. Yes, Jim Crow got all dressed up, cleaned up, in a nice three-piece suit while she's in a St. John. But this is the same voter suppression that has haunted Black people almost since we got here. In the old days, I'll tell you what happened when you decided to vote in your interests, when you decided that indeed it is your right to vote. Do you know, in some situations, people were literally lynched. That's what happened when Black people tried to vote. Or there were those silly games like, you know, come over here and read this passage of the Constitution and interpret it for me in 5 minutes. Here's a bowl of, I don't know what it is, marbles. Tell me before you go in to vote, how many marbles are in that bowl? And so the 8 civil rights legacy organizations have said enough is enough. And I am beyond grateful for the joy and the privilege of working with my sister leader, Melanie Campbell, as Black women move into a week of action.
Melanie, we had Cliff Albright on yesterday with Black Voters Matter, the co-founder, and he says this administration has to do more. He said the president has to step up and do more. What did he commit to do?
Give a shout out to being on here with our Dr. Leader, Dr. Janetta Cole. And it's an honor to always have this opportunity to be with her and be out here fighting the fight for and with our people. Yesterday, what he really committed to doing, if I say commitment, is really to use that bully pulpit more. I think he heard us. That was we were very focused around that, but also looking at what else can they do? Can they do more when it comes to the court system? Right now, we don't think so after what happened last week with the Supreme Court decision that has really impacted adversely the Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. But also, what can they do when it comes to executive action and get out here and show the sense of urgency. Presidents go out and they sell what they want, what they need to sell if they can't get the Congress to move. So both President Biden as well as Vice President Harris, I think they heard that. I think part of what I can't say with 100%, but I think a lot of what we had to say with him maybe have had an impact on him being able to make this speech on Tuesday and use that bully pulpit, because it's a powerful tool to use and you can do some great things from that pulpit. I said pulpit, excuse me, but from that bully pulpit, but also some really horrific things that we know we continue to live through. So I think that was very, very important, and the sense of urgency, I think we left there with them. If it wasn't there, I think it's more there now.
Dr. Cole, so what is next? I mean, what should the public be doing? What should the folks watching and the people who are members of these various organizations?
What the public should be doing is listening carefully to leaders in the 8 legacy organizations as we make the call for action. I'm going to turn it back to my sister leader, Melanie, to talk more specifically. But let me just say from my perspective, again, growing up in the Jim Crow South, everything that we have gained as a result of action. And so what you will see in the coming days throughout the summer will be action in defense of our right to vote, which is at the center of American democracy. We're not just using words loosely. We're talking about a democracy under assault. That is the correct description when people, based on the color of their skin, are being systematically prevented from voting. Sister Mel, if the brother professor is willing, maybe you would tell us more specifically what we've got planned.
I think, and I want to make sure I'm clear. It's not that we're saying it's time to act. It's time to keep acting. Organizing is going on. Cliff and Latasha, I was out there with them on that freedom ride a couple weeks ago. So it's about continuing to put the street heat out here and to make sure that we set the alarm bells for our community and others to know that this democracy, as Dr. Cole said, is under attack. And our vote, when it comes to the reality of what we're up against, if we don't see federal voting rights enacted in this country by August, quite frankly, Roland, because of the redistricting, then the idea of people saying autocracy versus democracy, it will be that with what we've seen happen already with these 48 states in your home state of Texas. The fight is on down there, right? But at the end of the day, one of the things that's really important is that we know that we can't go to the court, the system, the Supreme Court. Just let us know where they stand. We have to have legislation, and we have to have it now, because if the redistricting is done with the same attacks that are on our vote with voter suppression laws, we're going to see the same problem, not just from the top when it comes to the Congress, all the way down to the school board. So that's one. So next week, what we're doing with Dr. Cole and I and others, Black Voters Matter, Fair Fight Action, Power Rising, Black women, we came together, A. Philip Randolph Institute, AFL, Democracy Initiative, and many others, Urban League and others. We're coming together for the Black Women and Allies Week of Action, and that will culminate on Thursday on Capitol Hill. So we're going to use social media. We're going to have a call-in day, asking people to Roland, we need your help. Not putting you on the spot, but we do need your help to help us get that word out. The Senate will be back. The House won't be in, but the Senate. What we're saying is we have to be in the states. Every time they go home, we have to be out there making sure that they feel us. When they come back on Capitol Hill, they have to feel the presence, and we have to keep this on the front burner. So we're having this call to action starting on Monday with a social media day to start getting the word out. And folks to understand, we're going to have a town hall virtually, and then we're going to have a day of action. Call in. We want to break the switchboard, calling and telling those folks we want to see them pass the For the People Act post haste. And then on Thursday, we're going on Capitol Hill, and we're going to have a day of action. We're going to attempt to meet with senators. We're going to have some direct action on other things, a rally, and really show our presence for that week. And then I know that the following day is going to be even the leadership conference is having something, because it'll be a 1-year anniversary from the passing of John Lewis. So we're going to get in some good trouble, if you will, in the name of Congress, of our brother, the late Congressman John Lewis. And we have to keep the pressure on. We have to, so the meeting that we had, the mobilizations that have already been had, and we're trying to come together across generations, if you will. We have Tamika Mallory and others, Bernice King and others. It's just trying to get all of us together to, one, support each other's mobilization. So the whole idea of a summer of action is not one group, but it's all of us supporting each other and coming up with ways to keep the pressure on. And minimally, if they don't do right, our people will be mobilized and understand what's at stake. And when in what they're doing to try to impact us will roll right on over and impact others. Every time they try to do something to hurt us, we know historically it will hurt them. But unfortunately, it will hurt us more.
But the issue here, Dr. Cole, is simple. There are 2 senators who've made it clear that they are not going to end the filibuster. And so the question is, this pressure, is it going to be targeting Sinema and Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema of Arizona, Joe Manchin of West Virginia? I mean, the arguments that Melanie laid out, we have made, we have heard, numerous people have said it, but the reality is this here. There are 2 Democratic senators who are refusing to end the filibuster. That's why the For the People Act and the Voting Rights Act has not been passed. All of that hoopla about Joe Manchin having a Voting Rights Act compromise, that died when they couldn't break the filibuster. He keeps hollering bipartisanship. She keeps saying bipartisanship. They can't find 10 Republicans. So, all right, what now?
You're so right. Let's just use simple arithmetic. We don't even have to call it mathematics. We need every Democrat, I mean every, to stand up and speak out and vote in the interest of the people. We know that historically, this filibuster has been used to stop issues being passed, acts being passed that are in the interest of the people. And so I'm not going to sit here, Brother Professor Roland, and act as if this is just a little challenge. You know, we can do the arithmetic and we can convince some more Democrats and maybe even a few Republicans. This is a serious challenge. And one of the things that I liked so much about our time yesterday with the president and the vice president of our country is that they had a spirit of realism, not optimism. Because when you do the simple math, it's hard to call it optimism. But realism says that there are still ways that we can get legislative action. Because if we can't, then we have to ask, what happened to our democracy?
Melanie, final comment.
I would say, Roland, one of the things that we continue to speak out about is reforming the filibuster. That we put that out there, and we will. That's part of the message too. I mean, and it's not about. I don't know that we can convince 10 Republicans. I participated in these meetings.
First of all, the answer is no. Okay, I mean, I'm sorry. The answer is no.
That's fine. But I can tell you this, brother, you know it. We're not going to sit on the sidelines. We got to keep pushing and fighting. It's like that's the bottom line.
But on the fight,
pressure.
But on the fight, did y'all press President Biden to put more pressure on Sinema and Manchin?
Okay, of course we did, Roland. Anybody that needs to be put pressure on, whether it's Democrat or Republican, we get that, right? So as I stated at the beginning, We put it out there. We told them they need to use the bully pulpit. He is the head of the Democratic Party. So those two people are Democrats. So put the pressure on your friends and your foes. But also, I don't think we can just do it through the normal process of just sausage making, which is why it's important that we all do what we can to push and get the people. We need a movement about this. We need a real movement that will take place in this country, because at the end of the day, whatever we do, we won't get anything. We could get something short term if we're able to get some other kinds of legislation passed. But if we don't have the ability in 2022 to pick the candidates of choice, we are in trouble for a decade and longer, because some of us have lived long enough to know that, right? So we know it's a uphill battle, and that's why it's like we need all hands on deck, and we got to support each other, and we got to raise the hell that needs to be raised with our friends and our foes.
Dr. Janetta B. Cole, Melanie Campbell, we certainly appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Roland.
All right, y'all take care. Michael, I'll start with you. Here's the deal. I need to see Biden putting pressure on Sinema and Manchin. He's not. He's not. When he spoke in Tulsa, he said 2 senators. He wouldn't even name them. We knew he was talking about, but he wouldn't name them. And so here's the dilemma that these legacy civil rights organizations are going to have, and Cliff and Latasha with Black Voters Matter have talked about it. You're going to come back to black folks and ask for more? What argument can be made that you got control of the House, you got control of the Senate, you control the White House, and you still can't get a voting bill passed?
Roland, I'm going to try to be as respectful as I can. I saw press conferences yesterday. I saw interviews with people that were in the meeting. And I thought, I know I'm 50 and I think my hearing is going out. So I thought I ain't hear what I heard. But I got earbuds on right now. Listen to them. So I respect the sisters. I think we need less love vote and more Amistad slave revolt. First of all, I ain't hear anything about putting pressure on corporations that help finance Sinema and Manchin, as well as the GOP. Okay, dude, this is, as I said like weeks ago, dude, we have to have an all-out 50-state economic guerrilla warfare push on this, man. This is serious. These people, the GOP, they're not playing. They're trying to take us not back to 1865. They're trying to take us back to 1890, the Mississippi State Constitution that instituted poll taxes and literacy tests that Janetta B. Cole was talking about. That goes back to Mississippi, and other southern states started following. FEC.gov, brother, ProPublica, back in, I think, 2016, 2018, when Cindy Hyde-Smith was running for the Senate seat in Mississippi, ProPublica put out the information from the FEC.gov that talked about the Republicans who were being funded by corporations. Dude, that's public knowledge. Federal Elections Commission. We have to expose stuff like that, but also on Sinema and Joe Manchin. Who are the corporations who are financing them? Notice how before today, now we know Toyota came out today and said they're not going to give any more money to Republicans who
No. They announced they had stopped funding those who would not certify the election. Then they quietly begin to give money back. It wasn't until the Lincoln Project and other groups publicly outed them where they were like, okay, yeah, we're not going to give any money. But all of those companies who were making all of those cute public dropping press releases at the January 6th quietly have gone back to giving money.
Exactly. No, but I'm talking about the news that came out today about Toyota. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Dude, we're speaking the wrong language to these people. It ain't nothing. One of the things that Reverend William Barber is doing, and see, we got to expand this beyond just African Americans. This is people who don't vote for Democrats. This is young white people, white college students. This is Latinos. This ain't just a black thing. Dude, these people are Look, man, we need a Bumpy Johnson of politics to take these people's heads off. Politically, not figurative, not literally, politically. We're not doing anything that's going to scare them. This is what I'm saying. So the other thing is we have to educate the masses. I was speaking in Atlanta for the Juneteenth festival. I did 2 presentations. I'm speaking to I talked to 50 people asking questions. How many votes does it take to get a bill passed in the House of Representatives? Everybody wants reparations, but 9 out of 10 people can't tell you how to realistically get reparations. Okay, so we have to and lastly, I'll wrap up with this, brother, because this ain't my show. This is yours. June 1941. Executive Order 8802, President Franklin Roosevelt, which desegregated military jobs in the Department of Defense. He didn't do that out of the kindness of his own heart. He did that because A. Philip Randolph, president of the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, put his foot up his ass and threatened to put 100,000 African Americans marching on Washington to embarrass Roosevelt after we voted for Roosevelt. See, that's pressure. This stuff here, man, they ain't scared of none of this stuff. The other thing is, one of the reasons why I think they're not talking about corporations, unfortunately, I understand, they get donations from corporations, but the hell with that, man. Look, we need less Love Boat, more Amistad.
The thing here, Brittany, when you begin to look at in terms of what's happening, again, we know exactly why the For the People Act hasn't been passed. We know who the blocks are. And at the end of the day, President Biden is going to have to do more. What I mean by more? Easy. President Biden needs to go to Arizona and, yes, deliver a real hard-hitting speech on the issue of voting rights after the Supreme Court decision, which was the Arizona case. He needs to not be afraid of Joe Manchin and go to West Virginia and look them broke-ass white folks in West Virginia in the eye and say, y'all are also being screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, Roland. So many important points have been made. First and foremost, cinema and Manchin are full of it. And I think Michael is also absolutely correct. We have to hold them and their supporters, including those corporations, accountable. And we know that they're hiding behind this notion of bipartisanship, but we know bipartisanship ain't a thing. Republicans don't give a damn about bipartisanship. Democrats need to grow a backbone, including Joe Biden, like you said, and get his hands really wet to do something about this, because this isn't just affecting Black folks. This is affecting everyone. Like you said, it's the poor white folks in Arizona. It's our Native American brothers and sisters. I'm thinking about the folks who are living on reservations and tribal communities, which are located up to 20 miles from the assigned polling places, where they're going to get hit hard. Everyone there doesn't have transportation or residential mail service. The things that are being put forth are unfortunate. They're going to hit our democracy hard, and it's going to literally affect all of us, and we don't have a lot of time. So you're absolutely right, Roland. Biden needs to do way more, and especially in Arizona.
Candace, it's real easy to tell civil rights groups, to tell Black Voters Matter, to tell Until Freedom and others, hey, we need you to do more. No, I need y'all to do more. And the point that Michael makes, I said that several years ago during a CBC forum where Sherilyn Ifill was on the panel, NAACP Legal Defense Fund, Kristen Clark, then with the Lawyers Committee, the Secretary of State of California. I said to all of them, I said, y'all got to talk to the white folks too. Young white voters need to understand they're targeting you.
Listen, let's go back to George Floyd, right? When we think about the young white people who hit the streets in addition to the Black people in order to have this groundswell of a movement that we never thought would happen in terms of police officers turning in the courtroom against each other, that's what we're talking about now. We have to have that same hope and faith that we did when people hit the streets like that. Like Melanie said, we have to start a movement that's just as important as the movements that we've seen for this past year, because the Supreme Court has already made it very hard for us to fight voter suppression. So we have to go to the states, like you said. Joe Biden has to go to regular, basic politics. Go to the person, speak with them, sit with them, go to their state, and ask them and inform them about things that they might be wrong about. That's really what politics is. Just talking with people, negotiating, figuring out where we're going to have a meeting on the minds if you're far too left and I'm far too right. So you are right. There are some solutions, but today I'm not sure if we heard that was what came out of the meeting. Also, where's this $25 million going? What exactly is it going to do that Kamala Harris talked about in terms of informing people, educating people, and making sure that voters' rights are not suppressed? What's going to happen with that money? That could help start this groundswell of a movement that Melanie was talking about, that we need to shed light, to bring attention to these facts, to let them know that just as important as it was for you to get on the streets and march in terms of George Floyd and justice in the criminal justice system, it's just as important when we talk about voting rights. You know, you talked about the Supreme Court case. A couple of people have talked about it on this panel, and I'm going to quote Justice Elena Kagan in her dissent in that 6-3 decision having to do with the Supreme Court and Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. You know, it's good that we have the Voting Rights Act on one hand, but it's bad that we still have to have it and have to go ahead and validate it again.
Back to that Roland unfiltered video in just one moment.
Racial injustice is a scourge on this nation, and the Black community has felt it for generations. We have an obligation to do something about it. Whether it's canceling student debt, increasing the minimum wage, or investing in Black-owned businesses, the Black community deserves so much better. I'm Nina Turner, and I'm running for Congress to do something about it.